Let's face it, cricket is a batsman's game. The bowler may get all the glory when he takes a 5-wicket haul, but the batsman does the lion's share of the work, slogging it out in the hot sun for hours. A good batter can make all the difference to a team, single-handedly winning matches and taking home trophies. But who are the greatest batsmen of all time? In this video, we will talk about the best batters of all time and what made them great. But before we get into it, subscribe to the channel and like the video. So let's get started with the number 10. Jacques Kallis. Jacques Kallis is a South African cricketer who has played in 104 tests and 375 one-day internationals for his country. He attended Grey College and was selected for the South African schoolboys cricket team. Kallis made his test debut against England at Lord's in 1996. He scored 158 runs in his first innings of the test match, which is still a record for any player on debut. In 2000, he scored centuries against West Indies and Australia consecutively, leading to him being called Jacques Bon Vivant by fellow players because of how easily he would score tons. His style of play helped change how batsmen approach batting. They started playing more shots, rather than blocking everything out, like they used to do earlier when they were scared of getting out cheaply or losing their wicket early on. Virender Sehwag. If you're looking for a batsman who could make things happen in the middle, Sehwag is your man. His aggressive style of play was an absolute breath of fresh air in international cricket, and he ensured his presence was felt every time he stepped onto the field. With over 3,800 runs from just 52 tests, at an average of 53, Sehwag ranked 7th among all Indian openers concerning batting averages. He scored 5 triple centuries during his career, with 3,165 runs coming off those 3 triple tons alone. It is truly an astounding feat for someone who has played 52 international matches. While his batting feats are well documented, he stands out as one of the very best batsmen in his work behind the stumps, where he has taken 120 catches, most by any fielder in Test history, and contributes with some handy bowling spells as well. Viv Richards. He's considered the best one-day international batsman of all time, and the most lethal and feared player in history. He is also known as the man who gave the term swagger a new meaning in cricket. In addition to that, he established his name as one of the best players who had ever participated in the game. Viv Richards, along with Sir Donald Bradman, Sir Garfield Sobers, Sir Jack Hobbs and Shane Warne, was chosen as one of the 5 greatest cricketers of the century in the year 2000 by a panel of experts consisting of 100 individuals. He was also said to be the best batsman in the game's history when facing fast bowlers. Ricky Ponting. Ricky Ponting was always regarded as one of the top batsmen in the world throughout his entire career. Throughout his journey, the Australian icon has been awarded many trophies. Australia won 3 World Cups in a row. Ricky debuted for the national team in 1995 against Sri Lanka. He scored 13,378 test runs for Australia in 168 test matches for the national side, averaging 51.85 runs per game. While playing one-day international cricket, Ricky Ponting scored 13,704 runs in 375 games and 401 runs in 17 T20 international matches. Although he stopped playing cricket in 2012, he has imprinted himself permanently in the hearts of all cricket fans. Because of his impeccable pull stroke, Ricky Ponting is often regarded as one of the most talented batters in the world. Wally Hammond. The extraordinary, unequalled and unflappable hitting ability of British batsman Sir Wally Hammond earned him the nickname Unflappable. His first game was in 1927, and it was played against South Africa. He played in 85 test matches during his career, scoring 7,249 runs at an average of 58.46, establishing himself as one of the top batsmen in the world. Since then, Hammond has maintained a unique position in the minds of all cricket supporters everywhere. Gary Sobers. Many cricket fans today consider Sir Gary Sobers the sport's greatest all-rounder. Without a doubt, he was a legendary batsman. Though Don Bradman was the best hitter, Sobers was the best all-rounder because of his 235 test wickets. However, the topic is batting, and Sobers has an impressive resume. He batted over 800 in 160 innings in 93 test matches. His batting average was 57.78. Gary Sobers scored 26 centuries, but only Brian Lara surpassed the record set by Sobers' undefeated 365 against Pakistan in 1958. Not only was this Sobers' first Test century, but he would also score many more in his career. Sachin Tendulkar. Tendulkar, with full name Sachin Ramesh Tendulkar, is a cricketer who played for India and captained the team at one point. He is considered one of the best batsmen of all time. He's the best because he has accomplished a lot against some of the best bowlers the world has ever seen during his time. The Indian batsman was, by a wide margin, the most reliable player of the contemporary era. The man known as the Little Master participated in an astounding 200 test matches, and it is quite unlikely that this record will ever be surpassed. Another incredible accomplishment for Sachin was reaching the century mark exactly 100 times across all international competitions. In addition, he's one of only a handful of players who have ever scored a century in a one-day international match. He scored a total of 15,922 test runs while averaging 53.78 runs per game. Even though there are more entries on this list with greater averages, those are still astounding numbers considering how long they cover. Virat Kohli. When Kohli first appeared in an ODI, it was in 2008. Kohli's selection was considered an unexpected call-up because he had only played 8 List A matches before the Sri Lankan tour. Virat Kohli is regarded as one of the top cricket players in the world thanks to this insatiable drive and dedication to the sport. Fans often refer to Virat Kohli as the King while discussing their favourite player. Currently, Virat Kohli is widely considered the best batsman in the world. His astounding numbers place him among the best batsmen of all time, even though he has yet to retire. As of now, Virat Kohli has 8,074 runs in 102 test matches, with 12,344 runs at an average of 57.68. Kohli has established himself as a modern great in one-day internationals. The former India skipper also has a record of 71 centuries in international cricket for almost 13 years. Presently, no batter has scored as many centuries as Virat. Jack Hobbs. Jack Hobbs is regarded as the game's first true master and is credited with introducing several innovative strokes throughout his era. Hobbs was the first ever cricketer to be honoured with a knighthood from the Queen of England. In 1908, Sir Jack Hobbs made his debut for England against Australia at the renowned Melbourne Cricket Ground in his first match. Hobbs's first match was for England. In the first innings, he scored 83 runs, which contributed to England reaching a good total. Despite not having professional instruction, Hobbs was the first batsman in the history of Test cricket to achieve a batting average of more than 50. He was also the first cricket player to be knighted by the Queen. During his career, Jack achieved a milestone that only a select group of batsmen achieved during that era. He hit 15 centuries and 50 half-centuries. Sir Jack Hobbs scored 61,237 runs in first-class competition and 199 centuries during his career. Donald Bradman. To back up the judgments, let's look at Sir Donald Bradman's batting averages. The great batsman had a lengthy career from 1928 through 1948, during which he featured in 52 test matches. At a nearly unbelievable rate of 99.94, Bradman scored 6,996 runs in 80 innings. The perfect batting average of 100 could have been him if he had scored only 4 runs in his final Test innings against England. Although he was famously out for a duck, his score of 99.94 is still an impressive benchmark that puts him well ahead of the competition. With the highest score of 334, Bradman scored 29 centuries and added 13 half-centuries to his impressive stat line. It means that in more than half of his Test innings, he scored 50 or more runs. Those numbers could have been even better for the Australian if World War II hadn't broken out. There you have it, the top 10 batsmen of all time according to their batting average. Of course, many of you may disagree with the list, but the ranking is always fun, so don't take it to heart. Let's take a leave now, but make sure to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Goodbye.